In other news now, Uganda's parliament has resumed debate over presidential age limit after the speaker adjourned the session following a thorough investigation into the matter. Uganda's parliamentary speaker, Rebecca Kadaga, was forced to adjourn the debate about a controversial bill aimed at scrapping presidential age limits after opposition MP Lucy Ekelo raised concern that there were soldiers in a parliamentary chapel. Some of the MPs say they found plastic bottles with urine in them, which the soldiers were apparently using as toilets. They also said they found used food utensils and leftover food. This is not the first time this is happening. In September, fighting first broke out in Uganda's parliament over the contentious age bill. And police in Zambia have abandoned their decision to employ 8 Chinese nationals as police reservists after a public outcry. The decision comes barely 24 hours after the commissioning of the police officers amid fanfare in the capital, Lusaka. Zambians had questioned the recruitment of foreign-born reserves, which they found puzzling, given that a decision had been taken earlier this year to ban police officers from marrying foreigners for security reasons. In a statement, the police spokeswoman, Esther Mwata Katongo, explained that the police chief, Kokoma Kaganja, rescinded the appointment of the Chinese nationals because of concerns by the populace. The Zambian police had appointed 8 Chinese nationals as part-time officers. And elsewhere, Cameroon's government spokesman says separatists had killed 4 gendarmes in the town of Kambong in Southwest Region's Manyu Division. The militants are said to be seeking independence for Cameroon's English-speaking regions. According to government sources, their disputes with Francophone-dominated government have degenerated into open warfare. Several separatists have been killed by security forces in ensuing clashes. The separatists have launched a series of deadly raids on government, police and soldiers in recent weeks, leading authorities to escalate a crackdown that has killed dozens of civilians. The violence there has fueled a mounting refugee crisis. At least 7,500 people have crossed into Nigeria since October the 1st. And migrants who arrived in Italy on Monday have been sharing their experiences. They say they had been sold to armed gangs in Libya several times before successfully making it across the Mediterranean Sea. Some 300 migrants were rescued over the weekend and arrived in the Italian port of Pozzallo after being pulled from tiny dinghies just off the Libyan coast. Nigerian migrant Wankwo Johnson says he had been sold several times to armed gangs in Libya and treated like an animal before making it onto a boat that was rescued by a humanitarian organization. Libya's western shores are the main departure point for migrants, mainly from sub-Saharan countries fleeing poverty and conflict, trying to reach Europe.
When I tried to escape the first time, so we are arrested by asthma boys. They call them asthma boys. They are not doing anything, they're just carrying gun up and down. And they return us. Once they return us, the buyers are already there. They sell us away. We started walking like animals.
And in Zimbabwe, the army chief, General Constantino Chimwenga, who led the operation to oust former President Robert Mugabe, is set to retire. Mr. Chimwenga had earlier announced the end of an Operation Restore Legacy, ordering the military soldiers who had been deployed on the streets to return to the barracks. Analysts say the move will now clear the way for Mr. Chimwenga to be appointed as vice president. This comes about a week after President Emerson Mnangagwa told the party conference that he would announce his deputies in a matter of days. Still to come on the program, Nigerian contortionist Oyindamola Emmanuel gets into the Guinness Book of World Records. To join us again.